Go.
Hello, everybody. Uh, my name is Peter Weiler. I'm going to be your host for the April 21st, 2026 DVMUG Zoom meeting. Uh, Glad to have you with us. We'll follow our normal format of covering recent Apple news for the week or maybe a bit more than the week, followed by videos of interest for our group, and then a question and answer session. Uh, this is your opportunity to, if you have any problems with your computer, your iPhone, your tablet, um, the DVMUG power users often are able to help you get it right. So let's get started with this week's news. I've uploaded this particular listing of the news items on the BBS. Also, there is a listing of the videos that we'll be watching, along with the links. I recommend that you, if any of these pieces interest you, that you check out the link because we're only covering the high points of each article. Um, and
Okay.
John, if you could put the news and video into the chat, that would be great.
Done.
Okay, so let's get started. The first article, our CEO for Apple, Tim Cook, is stepping aside, and John Ternus is being confirmed as the next Apple CEO. Oh, wrong button. Um, at the end of August, Tim is going to stop being our CEO and he will become the executive chairman for Apple. I guess that means he'll be meeting people and helping with the transition. Uh, John Ternus is currently the senior vice president of hardware engineering, so he's a pretty knowledgeable fellow. Are there any comments or questions? Okay. Recently, the launching of our astronauts around the moon was really quite an event, and most of us probably can remember when this happened in the 60s. Um, so it was an exciting time. You'll notice there's a URL that'll get you to the articles at the bottom of this image. It was taken by Reed Wiseman, one of the astronauts. It's been called EarthSat for the Artemis mission, and he shot it on an iPhone, the iPhone 17 Pro Max. He even said that the iPhone image just fit his little window in their spacecraft. Um, so when he was looking out at the moon and then shooting with the iPhone 17, you can get what is an 8 times magnification. It's done partially through optics and partially through processing. But when he was using 8 times magnification, he said the image on his phone looked the same size as what he was actually seeing. So I normally wouldn't be showing a video right now. This is a very short one, actually a couple, but the event I felt was really so remarkable that it's worth having a look. Both of these together are a little over 3 minutes. And let's get.
Would you look at that, man?
Wow, once the shadows behind it, it's different.
Wow. Fiend.
God. It's gone.
They went ahead. This is actually how, you can tell he's hand holding the iPhone because it's moving around the image, but they're speeding it up double speed, so it sets a bit faster. There you go, from the moon. I think this was a Facebook post here, and you could see he actually, uh, when he was holding it, it was vertical. So here's the second one.
NASA has just shared the first photos taken by the Artemis 2 astronauts during their journey around the moon, and they are nothing short of breathtaking. One of the images captures a rare Earth set, where our planet slowly appears to sink behind the moon's rough, crater-filled surface. It's a quiet, powerful moment seeing Earth, small and fragile from so far away. Another photo shows something even more dramatic, a solar eclipse seen from space. As the moon moved in front of the sun, it blocked the light completely, leaving only a glowing ring, the sun's outer atmosphere shining around it. From Earth, this kind of moment lasts only a few minutes, but for these astronauts, it stretched on for nearly an hour. As they watched, astronaut Victor Glover described the view as something out of science fiction, almost unreal. The moon hovered in front of them, the sun glowing behind it, and Earth shining brightly in the distance. During their 6-hour flyby, the crew also experienced a period of complete silence as their spacecraft moved behind the moon, cut off from communication with Earth. In that quiet moment, they observed parts of the moon no human had seen directly in decades, carefully describing everything they saw for scientists back home. One of the photos even echoes a historic moment, the famous Earthrise image taken during the Apollo 8 mission in 1968. That picture changed how we see our planet forever, reminding us how small and connected we truly are. And now, once again, we're seeing Earth from a new perspective, not as a collection of countries or borders, but as one bright, distant home floating in the vast darkness of space. Take a moment to imagine that view and what it means for all of us. If this inspires you, follow for more incredible space moments and share it with someone who needs a new perspective on our world.
Any comments or questions?
Nice.
It's
Very cool.
it's amazing how they fit all those people in there in that one little capsule.
Yeah, you best be friends.
It was more than twice the size of the original capsules back in the 60s.
Yes. Very impressive.
And by the way, the phone he took it with was, I believe, was that space
I-
orange that a whole bunch of people bought. It was that color.
The iPhone 17 Pro was orange.
Cosmic orange.
Oh,
Yeah,
cosmic
cool.
orange. Okay.
Cool. Okay, well, let's move on. So, Apple has been working on smart glasses. Um, I don't really know what smart glasses are, but this article gives us some clues. Um, Evidently, the glasses will have cameras, speakers, Siri, um, and it won't just do everything. It's meant to work with the iPhone rather than replacing it. Um, so there are going to be different frame styles, and it will be interesting. The first generation evidently will focus on audio as well as visual overlays, and there's more advanced features coming, like text recognition, context reminders and so forth. So that's something for the near future, or so they say. Any comments?
Well, I
Okay.
have a brief comment though. I mean, Google came out with Google Glass some years ago, and that didn't go over too well, and so we're going to see what's going to happen to this.
Right. There are evidently some smart, quote unquote, glasses out there by different manufacturers, but it remains to be seen,
Um,
how well it'll be accepted.
I know there's been a lot of pressure on getting Apple to develop a new product line, and so obviously this would be it.
It's also, when I was in Israel, I saw a demonstration of glasses that they have where it'll actually read to you and it'll recognize people.
Well,
Oh,
that would
yeah.
be cool when you forget names. Yeah.
I have a
Then there's the-
question. I have a question. Well, since I saw everybody here wearing glasses, will you be able to wear their glasses and not have to wear your glasses?
Time will tell.
By putting your prescription into them.
No, you'll have to get a prescription for
Put
like the
into
Vision
those.
Pro. If you wear glasses and you get a Vision Pro, you have to pay extra to get prescription lenses made to put inside the Vision Pro so you can use them.
Ah, thank you.
Then there's always the privacy issue with all this too.
Okay, well let's move on. So the title of this article interested me. Here are all of the new Apple products worth waiting for and what to avoid buying now. So that's kind of a big promise there. And so some of the products included were the iPad mini with a OLED display and the the iPhone Fold, a folding phone, which there have been rumors about that one for years now, but evidently it is in the pipeline. MacBook Neo and MacBook Air are recommended for purchase right now, according to the article. While if you want a MacBook Pro, or a different Mac, it's best to wait for later in the year. And Apple's expected to release new AirPods, a smart home display, and refresh TV and HomePod Mini. So there are some new things to look forward to. These are the promises, or anyway, the speculations. Any comments?
The new versions of some of these devices, or supposedly the hardware has been done, and they're just waiting for the new Apple Intelligence and Siri because that's what they rely on. It doesn't work without them. So,
Right.
The other thing I've been hearing them say is that for the Neo, they have now run out of the chips that the Neo is based on, and they need to redesign the next generation EO and get it out quick because the demand's been too high and the supply is about to end.
Someone told me that the same problem is run with the Mac Minis.
Correct.
They can't supply
well,
the chips for the Mac Minis fast enough.
well, the problem with the Mac Mini is they're being bought up by AI developers,
Right.
and they're just scooping them up, especially the high-end models with max RAM and storage. It's the new personal AI, development machine. So that's a problem. That isn't the low-end chip that goes in the Neo. That's the high-end chip. But memory, storage, all that stuff is all being consumed by they've been all been bought up. So that's a problem for everybody.
And memory chips in all of this are a supply problem right
Yeah.
now. And
Right.
so they haven't projected enough inventory to maintain any of these things. Everything is winding up selling out before they can meet the demand with something new.
The Neo is actually cheaper than the PCs of the same configuration now because they are their prices, they had to raise them because they don't have the long term. See, Apple bought out, they buy out memory for 2 years in France and get a price lock. So they're kind of okay with what they have right now. So they haven't raised their prices, but the PC makers are hung out to dry.
Yeah.
But what I've been reading is even Apple is running out of
Yeah,
the
just in
memory they
general.
need to make this stuff.
Yeah, it's a problem.
Okay. So one more article. The first gen AirTag 4-pack, it's been out at, I don't know, I think it's close to $100 or something. And I saw this article, for 4 days, they were offering it for this $57 price. And, um, you know, that's quite a markdown. So yeah, but the article came out yesterday, so there's very little time if you want to act on that particular sale. It's on Woot.
They lowered the retail price of them when they came out with the AirTag 2s, but then Amazon's been selling them for around $60 ever since the 2s came out. So I guess they're going to keep making them. They're still in the catalog. They didn't discontinue them because they work with older devices and the new ones don't work with the older devices. So
But these would be the fours, is that right?
the AirTag, there's the
Yeah.
AirTag original ones, and then there's the AirTag 2s.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna go back one frame. Oh, I'm sorry, it was a 4-pack. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Okay.
four packs originally were $99, but that was the original retail price. When they came out with the AirTag 2s, then they lowered the ones, and now they're discounted. Amazon has had them for around $60 since the AirTag 2s came out.
So
Okay.
I'm confused. Are you saying the AirTag 2 a 4-pack is down to $60?
No, 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 no. The originals.
Oh, okay.
The 2s are still, I don't, they may be discounted slightly, but the retail price of the original AirTags was dropped when the 2s came out. They're not retailing, the retail suggested retail is not $99 anymore.
Well, and there is more, there are more
what's the
details.
difference?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, what's the difference between the ones and twos in terms of performance?
They're completely different chips. They have more precise, longer range precise finding, and they have a longer battery life.
Okay.
And they don't work with the chip doesn't work with the older devices. So if you have an older phone, you're trying to, you won't read the new ones.
You can also track them with your Apple Watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I believe they'll keep selling the 2s for a long time.
Okay. There's one other piece of news before we move on to the videos that I'd like to mention. And many of you might know this, but David Pogue is going to be addressing our group in May, most likely in May, on one of our Tuesday meetings. And if you're not familiar with David Pogue, he's on TV a lot, very knowledgeable about all things Apple, and I think it'll be quite exciting. There's a good chance it'll be the May 26th meeting, but DVMUG will let you know once it's finalized.
I'd say there's an even better chance because I just heard from him.
Oh, go
And he
ahead.
said May 26th works great.
All right.
And for those of you that are tech geeks, the reason that he had to cancel for his scheduled meeting with us next week was he's been invited to do an exclusive interview of the guy who is the CEO of NVIDIA. And he's supposed to do it next Wednesday, which means next Tuesday he'll be flying from New York out to wherever they are. I think they're down somewhere in the South Bay to do the interview. So, but anyway, he'll be coming to see us in May.
Excellent. May 26th.
Yep.
Okay, let's go to the videos. So this is the slide that has all of the actual URLs, the links. And so if you'd like to review any of these individually, just click on those links. And the same with like the article about the AirPods. If you really are thinking about buying AirPods, I'd encourage you to click on that article because there's a lot more information than we were able to cover at this meeting. So our first video is with Gary.
Hi, this is Gary with MacMost.com. Know a little something about spreadsheets and want to get started with numbers fast? Let's go. So after you start numbers, go to File, New to go to the template chooser. Then you can choose from one of many different templates here. If you just want to start a blank document to create your own thing, then double click on blank. Now a numbers file or document can contain one or more sheets. Add more with the plus button like that. But it's also common to just have a single sheet in your document. Each sheet can include one or more tables. This is a table right here. And you can see there's a lot of room on this sheet, and you can add another table and actually as many as you like. Each table contains any number of individual cells. Cells are arranged in rows, which are horizontal, and columns, which are vertical. In most tables, the first row will be the header row, and the first column will be the header column. Use the header rows and columns to label things. Here, I've put 4 labels for 4 columns. And then in each row, I just add the data. To enter data in any cell, just click on the cell and you could just start typing. So I'll enter a date here. I use the tab key. It goes to the right for the next cell there. And you can keep entering data across the row using tab to go to the next cell. Ideally, you want no blank rows in your table. When you want to add a new row, just select a cell in the last row, press return, and a new row is added. Think of each table as a small database of like information. Here are some examples. Here's something a teacher might use that has each student in their class and the grade they had on each test. Here's a table that keeps track of sales with dates, product, and amount for each sale. Here's a table someone might use to keep track of the books that they've read. Here's a table that keeps track of consulting hours for freelancing. MacMost is brought to you thanks to more than 3,000 supporters at Patreon. You can read about it right here. Numbers has a lot of tools for making your data look good. You can go in the right sidebar under Format, go to Cell, and here you can set a background fill for the cells. You can set the border. You can go to Text here and change the font, the color, the justification, all sorts of properties. And if you go to Table in the right sidebar, you can choose from some preset styles for the tables. For instance, you can make your table look like this, or this, or this. You can also format the data in cells very easily. So I can click on the column heading there and then go to the Format sidebar, Cell, set the data format to currency. Each table includes a title that you can customize up here, and you can also add lots of other elements to the sheet. For instance, you can click here and add text boxes, shapes, arrows, all sorts of things. You can use these to explain how your sheet works so you can remember for next time. Once you have data in a table, you can manipulate the data in a lot of ways. Use the little button to the right side of a column heading there, and you could sort very easily by that column. You could also filter here. You can use quick filter and only show certain values, but you could also go to filter options here and then create complex filters using multiple columns. And perhaps the biggest feature of spreadsheets is the ability to do calculations with formulas in cells. If I'm going to calculate the total cost, I will use the equals key, and then I can enter a formula into this little box here. Click here, and then it will select that cell. I'll use Shift 8 for an asterisk for multiplication, multiply by this cell that I'll just click on there, and I get my result. If I copy this and then paste it here, you can see that the date has updated to match the row for each one of these. You can also calculate things like averages and totals using a footer row. I'm going to click on the last row here and select Add Footer Row Below and use Sum, and then I'm going to select the entire column and then right parenthesis like that, and I'll get a total. The best thing about formulas like this is everything updates when you change the initial values. If I change this from a 4 to a 5, you'll see the value here changes, and then the total will change as well. Whenever you're entering in a formula, the right sidebar here changes to a list of functions, and you could browse through all the functions. So if you want to know how to do something, just start a formula and then start searching through the functions and reading descriptions. You can also use another table for calculations. I've got one table that contains all of my data for expenses, and in this table, I've got totals that I want to calculate. And what I'm going to do is use a formula that's going to use SUMIF, and it's going to look at the values in this column, compare it to the value in this cell, and then give me the total sum for everything that matches from that column. And if I copy and paste it here, it will change to reflect the value in each one of these cells. Another thing Numbers does is charts. So I can select, say, this table here, and then I will use the charts button here, select pie chart, and it will create a pie chart from the data. That's my quick start guide to Numbers. Check out my course on Numbers and other videos I've done on it for deeper dives into various subjects. Thanks for watching. Want to know about every new MacMost video each week? Sign up for the absolutely free MacMost email newsletter at macmost.com/newsletter.
Okay. Any comments, questions?
Yes, one thing that I learned in this video that I never saw before is you can have two different tables on the page at the same time, side by side.
Yeah.
I don't think I had seen that before.
Is Numbers an application that we have on our Mac right now?
Always, unless you delete it.
Yes,
I've never
your
used it
device
before.
comes
It's like learning
default
a
with
new
that.
Excel.
Yeah, Numbers is the counterpart of PowerPoint on PC.
No,
right?
Excel.
Oh, I'm sorry. Right, Excel.
My wife just watched this. She always grumbles about Excel. She says, boy, this is easier than Excel.
Okay.
Okay. Well, let's move on to the next one. This second piece is by Dan Lessink, Tired of a Cluttered iPad Screen, How to Organize Your Apps. His is about 9 minutes or so, but most of the videos on this list are relatively short, so we shouldn't be stretching beyond half an hour with video at least. Here we go.
In this video, we're going to focus on apps, specifically how we can move a single app, as well as move multiple apps at the same time, how we can place them into folders, as well as remove an app. Now, if you found this video helpful, stick around to the end. I'll tell you a little bit more about myself and how you can help support my efforts in creating these videos. Let's take a look at apps on the iPad. So I'm looking at my iPad here, and let's first take a look at how we can move a single app. Let's say I wanted to move this app over to the right. How do I do that? Well, basically you just long press on it and then wait a couple of seconds. Once that contextual menu basically pops up, then what you can do is you can drag this wherever you want. So I can place it there, and now when I'm done, I can tap on done here, or what I could do is tap in this area where there's no icons. And now I've just moved that app. So again, just long press on it until you see that menu, and then you can just drag it where you want. And then tap to get out of there. Now if you drag it to the edge of the screen, what it's going to do is it's going to move it over to another home screen. I have a separate video on home screens, but just know that if you drag it over to the edge, it's going to go to another home screen. Now what about multiple apps? Maybe what I'd like to do is move these apps over to the right. How do I do that? Well, to move multiple apps, what we first do is move a single app, but we don't let go. So as an example, I'm going to take this app and I'm just going to move it slightly over, but I'm not going to let go. So I long press on it, I drag it, and I still have hold of it. So I'm not going to let go. Now what I need to do is I need to tap on the other apps that I want to move with it. So I'm going to tap on these 3 apps. And when I do, you're going to see them move on top of the other apps. So now I'm dragging those 4 apps around. And when I let go, I could drag them to another home screen. I can move over here to the right. When I let go, what it's going to do is it's going to move those over there. So that's how we can move multiple apps. Again, what we need to do is we need to tap on done, or we can tap in this area here. And now I've just moved those apps. What about moving them into a folder? How do we create a folder on the iPad? Well, basically to create a folder, what we do is we drag one icon on top of another. So let's just go with these 4 apps here. I want to put them into a folder. So the first thing I need to do is I need to drag one app on top of another. It doesn't matter which one. What it's going to do then is it's going to create a folder. Then I can move the other ones in there. So let's go ahead and do that. I long press on it and I drag it around. So I'm just grabbing this icon, this app icon here, and I place it on top of the other one. Now when I do that, take a look at this icon here. You're going to see that it has an outline there. That means that it's going to create a folder. So I place it in there, and now we have my folder. Now there I waited a little bit and it created the folder right in front of me. Another thing you can do is you can drag and place it on top of the other one and let go. You don't have to sit there and wait for it to create that folder. All right, so I've created those 2 folders here. Remember, I wanted to have 1 folder. So now what I need to do is I need to take the apps out of here and move them into here. And then what happens to this folder here? Well, if there's no apps in the folder, what it'll do is it'll remove it. So let's go ahead and open it up. And I drag. I'm actually going to drag both of them. Remember how we do that? I have both of them there. I drag it outside, and then I place it on top of that folder. And lo and behold, they're in that folder, and it removed this folder. So just drag an icon on top of another one, and then it'll create that folder. Now what about naming the folder? Well, there's 2 different ways to do that. You're going to see that I'm still in my jiggly mode. They're jiggling. When it's in the jiggly mode, what I can do is I can tap on the folder, and when I do, the name of the folder is highlighted, and I can type in whatever I want in here. So I'm just going to call this folder. So I tap on the X, and we're going to call it folder. And when I tap outside here, it's going to make those changes. And now we can see that it says folder. I mentioned there was another way of doing it. What I can do is I can open up the folder, tap on it to open it up, and then if we long press on the title of the folder, we're able to change that name. It puts it into the jiggly mode, and then I can go and change that name. So this was entertainment, so I'm just going to call it entertainment again. And correct the spelling there. And now we have my entertainment. And if I want to remove that folder, what I have to do is I have to remove all of them out of there. So I just drag one, tap on the others, I drag it out, and that folder is no longer there. And then the last thing I want to show you is how we remove an app. We basically have 2 options when we remove an app. We can remove the app from the iPad itself, so it's no longer on the iPad, or what we can do is we can just remove it from the home screen. When we remove it from the home screen, what it's going to do is it's going to place it in the app library. And I have a separate video on the app library. So you can always find all of your apps in this app library. So if you remove an app from the home screen, you can still find it in the app library unless you delete it from the iPad. So how do we do this? How do we remove it from a home screen to keep it on the iPad in the app library, as well as just remove it altogether? Well, basically all we have to do is just long press on an app. So let's go with FaceTime here. I want to remove that. I long press on it, and then you're going to see remove app. I did let go. I'm not continually holding down that button. We can just long press on it until that contextual menu comes up. Then we tap on remove app, and this is where we have the option. So what I'm able to do is remove it from the home screen, and then it'll keep it in the app library. Or what I can do is I can just remove the app altogether, and then I'm going to have to go to the app store to download it again. So in this case here, let's just remove it from the home screen. And now we can see it is no longer there. But if I do go to my home screen, that was FaceTime, you're going to see I do have FaceTime here. So it is still there. Now, if you don't see remove app, let's go over here to Google Chrome. Let's say I wanted to remove that. Well, Google Chrome has a number of actions when you long press on an app icon. Specific apps can have different actions in here. So you're going to see that there is no option to remove that app. So how do we do it? Well, basically what we have to do is we have to go to options here. And when I tap on options, now I'm able to remove that app. I tap on that, and I get my remove from home screen or remove the app or delete the app. I'm just going to go and delete this. I don't use Google Chrome, so I delete it, and it confirms it. This will delete it, and now that app is gone. It is not going to be in my app library. It's not going to be on my iPad. So that's how we can remove apps. Basically, we can do this through the contextual menu. Just long press on it, and then from there you can remove the app. When you remove the app, you have two options. You can remove it from a home screen, so it'll still be in your app library, or you can just remove it from the iPad altogether. So that is how we work with apps on the iPad. We can move them. We can move a single app, or we can move multiple apps. We can place them into folders, and then we can also remove them. Remove them from the iPad altogether, or just remove them from the home screen. So that's how we work with our apps on the iPad. Now, if you found this video helpful, what you may want to do is like the video. You could subscribe to my channel. You could share it with your friends and family. I also have a couple of other options for you. I have a site called Dan's Tutorials. It has not only more videos, but it has an AI assistant modeled after an Apple Genius, and I host classes and webinars on a regular basis. When you become a member, it is a membership-based site. When you become a member of that site, you have access to all of those videos. I take out all of the ads of the videos, and you have access to that AI assistant as well as my classes and webinars. I also have another option. If you don't like memberships or subscriptions and you just want to take a course, you can go to dansonlinecourses.com. Over there, I have courses on various devices from Apple. As of this recording, it is just the iPhone, but I plan on adding this video along with several others to an iPad course as well as a Mac course down the road. So check out Dan's Online Courses for more information on that. With either one, you're helping support a small business. It is just me in a corner office of my house. I'm not part of some large organization. So if you become a member or you buy one of my courses, you are helping support a small business. And as always, thanks for watching.
Well, I apologize a bit for the advertisement, but, you know, Dan deserves some support. So the next video is on how to create an Apple account. And I don't know if some of you don't have Apple accounts, but, you know, or you might have one that really needs to be updated. This will be helpful. Here we go.
When you create an Apple account on any of your devices, you can access everything Apple on all your devices, from purchases to services to iCloud and more. We'll show you how to create an Apple account during setup of your iPhone, iPad, or Apple Vision Pro, how to create one in system settings on your Mac, how to create one using the App Store on your iPhone, iPad, or Apple Vision Pro, and how to create one on the web. First, we'll show you how to create an Apple account during setup of your iPhone, iPad, or Apple Vision Pro. Follow the prompts to begin setting up your device. When you reach the Apple account sign-in screen, tap Forgot Password or Don't Have an Account, and tap Create a Free Apple Account. Enter your name and birthday, and tap Continue. Next, you can use an existing email address as long as you have access to it. Or you can create a free iCloud email address. We're going to create one. Tap Don't Have an Email Address, and then tap Get an iCloud email address. In the email field, enter the new email address you want to use for your Apple account, and then tap Continue and follow the prompts to finish setting it up. You can also create an Apple account in System Settings on your Mac. Before you start, it's a good idea to make sure your Mac is updated to the latest version of Mac OS. In the sidebar of System Settings, click Sign in with your Apple account and click Don't Have an Account. Enter your name and birthday and click Continue. Next, you can use an existing email address as long as you have access to it. Or you can create a free iCloud email address. Let's create one. Click Don't Have an Email Address, and then click Get an iCloud email address. In the email field, enter the new email address you want to use for your Apple account, and then click Continue and follow the prompts to finish setting it up. If you've already set up your iPhone, iPad, or Apple Vision Pro, you can create an Apple account using the App Store. Before you start, it's a good idea to make sure your device is updated to the latest operating system, and you'll need an existing email address that you have access to. Tap the Account button in the upper right corner of the App Store. Then tap Create New Apple Account. To finish setting up your Apple account, follow the prompts, which include reviewing and accepting the terms and conditions in order to continue. No matter what device you use, even if it's not an Apple device, you can create a new Apple account on the web. Before you start, it's a good idea to make sure your device is updated to the latest operating system. And you'll need an existing email address that you have access to. Go to account.apple.com. Click Create Your Apple Account, and follow the prompts to finish setting it up. Now you know how to create your own Apple account, so you can access everything Apple, everywhere.
Are there any comments or questions?
I wonder sometimes why more people don't use their Apple email accounts and stick with these stupid Yahoo and Hotmail and some of those other things that are not near as secure or private.
Because they've been using them for 10 or 20 years and they don't want to change their address. That's
Yeah,
why.
I suppose, but
Yeah, I was going to say force of habit.
It's not easy to change something email address you've been using for 10 years and everything where you log in has it and all your friends know it, and it's
yeah, but it's not impossible.
I always tell everybody you should do it while it's at your convenience before you have a problem when it stops working and they're stuck and you can't have access to it, because you don't pay for AT&T, SBC Global, PacBelt on that. Addresses are powered by Yahoo. You're not paying them any money. You don't get any support from them. Not a good idea.
No. Comcast now too.
Comcast too, not good. Powered by Yahoo now. Astound, or your Astound Wave customers, they have
Oh,
the
is Astound
worst.
on Yahoo now too?
No, I once talked to Astound support trying to fix an email problem. The tech guy said, you shouldn't use this address. This is bad email. The tech told me that.
Wow.
That was it. I won't support people with Astound and Wave addresses anymore.
Wow.
But to get out while you can do it and wean yourself out of there. Start using the new one while the old one still works. Or it's a problem.
Just out of curiosity, I wonder if any of our members are still using the old ValueNet.
No, they don't exist anymore, as far as I know.
Sharon had her hand up.
No. Slight change of subject, but I'm on the App Store, setup, which I've set up. I can post this in the chat there. It's got email, phone numbers listed, both of them in my phone. Password, last updated April 8th. Account security, two-factor authentication. But account recovery is next. Not set up, and legacy content. Well, anyway, account recovery. Should I set that up?
Yes.
Yes, you should always, with any email account you have, you should give them a cell number and an alternate email address for contact. If something goes wrong and you have to reset your password, they need two ways that are even better to contact you.
Well, let's go back to, do I have to go into Mac, on the desktop and check settings there, or
you can go to
it should go
iCloud.com on the web and access your Apple ID, and you can go in there and set up your alternate email contact, your cell number. Hopefully they already have that. Maybe not, but you should check. Sometimes people give them an address and then they don't have, so they give them their PacBell address as a recovery address many years ago, and then they don't have that address anymore and they can't get it. Then when they try to contact you and send you the reset code, you can't get it. Then you're really hosed.
Okay, good.
Another gotcha that can happen is with your Apple account, if you've set up the same phone number on more than one Apple account, you can really run into trouble in trying to recover an account. Yeah. Apple doesn't explain that until it's become a problem, and then they can't help you.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Sometimes people have two Apple IDs, and for whatever reason it happened, and they just kind of ignore the one they don't use, and abandon it, and they never delete it. It used to be back in the day, you couldn't delete it. They wouldn't let you delete an account. Now you can go and delete an account. If you don't want to use it and you have two of them, go in and delete the account. So there's no...
Oh, aren't you going back to passwords to check all this too?
No, it's not in passwords. It's in iCloud.com on a website, web browser. In Safari is how you go to your Apple ID and find out all your settings. You can see it in system settings. You can see it on your phone, on your account information. All of it is not in the passwords app. That just has your passwords.
Well, I just found that the recovery key for my iMac Mini was on passwords. That
has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Your recovery key for your password is a completely different issue. It has nothing to do with your recovery address for your Apple ID.
You go to appleid.apple.com.
Oh, on the web?
You can do it in system settings on the Mac under your Apple ID, or on your phone, or on your iPad on your Apple ID. You can find your information in there and see what's your contact information, your recovery. You can see all those places you can view your Apple ID information. You can edit it and fix it.
Yeah, iCloud. Thank you.
Just don't use the same phone number for two different Apple IDs.
Yeah, oh well. Oh, okay, thanks. So for two different Apple IDs. Oh, I thought you meant two
Right. Don't
devices.
use the same phone number for two different Apple IDs.
Okay, thank you.
I don't think they'll let you do that anymore. If you try to make a new account, they'll say that number's already been used on another account. They won't let you do that.
The problem is they used to.
Yeah, they still, you can, you never used to be able to merge any information between two accounts when you're trying to slim it down, but they changed that and you can do some merging, but not all. You can't just merge two accounts. But I think you can move your purchases. I'm not sure. I can't remember. They did do that. Well,
Okay.
they absolutely allow you to delete a dead account now, which they never used to be able to do.
Okay, let's move on to the next video.
Can I ask another question on that, sort of on the subject of why people don't use their iCloud account more? I've been sort of saving mine to be pristine. I don't want to get spam on it, but maybe that's the wrong theory.
You never will.
Oh, yeah, well, I get lots of spam on it.
On your Apple account?
Yep, and I send them to Apple. They thank me.
I think you probably are going to some questionable places and signing things up.
Not with my Mac.com address.
Because I never give out that address, or rarely.
Ah.
Well, if you don't give it out, if you don't give it out, you don't get spam.
I mainly give it out when it's an Apple-related thing, like, user group or something.
I've been using Mac.com as my primary email address since it existed 20 years ago.
Wow.
And I get very little spam.
Well,
I can't remember the last time I got any spam on my Mac.com account. But I sure get it through Comcast.
Okay. Okay.
But
okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Now go ahead. Move on.
Okay. I think maybe we should move on.
Yes.
Okay. The next video is with Trevor Nace, and it's what he's claiming is you can turn on faster internet and better calls on the iPhone. So let's see if this is going to work.
Hey guys, Trevor here. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to get faster internet and make better calls with just a few settings changed on your iPhone. So let's hop into this settings app of your iPhone first, and you can see right under Bluetooth, let's tap on cellular. The first thing that we want to do is make sure that your cellular data in your cell signal is as improved and as good as possible. So let's just first tap on cell data options here. And you can see at the very top is data roaming. Now, a lot of carriers don't charge you for data roaming if you're within the country that you have that carrier with. In my case, I'm in the United States. So I would recommend turning on data roaming, but let's also go to voice and data. And on here, you can see 5G on. This will improve or maximize your phone's ability to use 5G, the fastest cell and service in your network or in your area. Keep in mind, this might reduce significantly or just a little bit your battery life. So depending on whether you run out of battery quickly, you can switch to 5G auto or 5G on. I usually keep it to 5G on. The next thing we're going to do is hit back and go to data mode here. If this says set to low data mode or standard, it might reduce your phone's ability to use your cell signal or your cell service to run data and to basically improve your Wi-Fi or improve your internet speed. So I would switch this to allow more data on 5G. Keep in mind, only choose that option if you have an unlimited data plan because it could use a bit more data on your phone. Now let's go back out of here, and the next thing I would recommend doing is scrolling down and tapping on Wi-Fi calling. Now keep in mind, if you're in an area with a bad cell service or bad signal, you can always use Wi-Fi calling instead of your cell or mobile tower to make that call. Just toggle this on. Keep in mind, for emergency addresses, you'll need to enter that in and update your emergency address. This is essentially if you call 911 on Wi-Fi while you're calling, they'll be able to know where your home address is. This is only shared with emergency calls or emergency responders. Now let's next hit the back arrow and go down to the bottom. You can see on here Wi-Fi Assist, iCloud Drive, and iCloud Backup. These all three could potentially use up a lot of your cell data while basically you're browsing around, while it's backing up your iCloud Drive or your iCloud. Keep in mind, if you're okay with that, you can use the cell data, but I would recommend turning these off at least, and you can choose whether to turn off Wi-Fi Assist. Essentially, if your Wi-Fi network is bad, it will switch over to your cell data instead. I usually have all three of those turned off. Now that we've improved your cell signal, let's improve your internet speed. All we need to do is fairly easy, is just modify the DNS for your Wi-Fi. I'll show you how to do that, but first, if this helps you out, hit that subscribe button down below. It really helps me out, be able to make these videos completely free to you. Thanks, guys. Now, at the beginning of your settings, you'll be able to see Wi-Fi right under airplane mode. Let's just tap on that. And now you can see I'm connected to my network, Luddites and Neolites. Let's tap that little I right next to it. And from here, let's scroll down and you'll be able to see towards the bottom, it will say configure DNS, and it's usually set to automatic. Let's tap on that. And instead of automatic DNS, let's switch this to manual. A lot of times your internet provider might not have the fastest DNS servers, so you want to manually enter in a couple. So you can see here, I'm going to just delete out these and hit add server. And you can either add Google's DNS server, or I would recommend Cloudflare's DNS server is super fast. And it's 1.1.1.1. Fairly easy to remember. And then we're going to hit add a server because we're going to add two of them here, 1.0.0.1. And now all you need to do is hit save. After you've done that, it should toggle Wi-Fi off just as it reconfigures everything. And then you'll just reconnect to your Wi-Fi. After you've done that, head into a web browser here and we'll just do a speed test. Just type in speed test into Google and hit run speed test. It should be super fast for your internet, both your Wi-Fi as well as cell data, and improve any kind of calls that you're making or receiving. I hope this helps. Again, if it did, hit that subscribe button down below and send this maybe to a friend or two just to share it out and keep basically growing this community on YouTube. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, a bit techy, but might be worth playing with.
Yeah,
What
we
do you
need to have a session. Like we can compare what happens on each other's phones. It was going to take more time, especially that last part. Totally lost me.
Wi-Fi calling is important if you have a poor cell signal at your house and you don't receive or can't having a hard time getting calls. You turn on Wi-Fi calling and it will use your Wi-Fi internet for the calls, incoming and outgoing, and it was a huge improvement. It'll make it actually work.
Your internet provider needs to support that.
Yeah, most of them do. Comcast does.
Consumer Cellular does too.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
Okay.
why would you change your, what was it, the DNS settings?
DNS is, this is true on your computer too. By default, if you do nothing and you're a Comcast customer, you're relying on Comcast to supply the location of the web page you go to. You go to DVMUG, it has to go to some server called the domain name server and look up where DVMUG is located. Web pages are located at numbers, not words. Words can point to anywhere the owner says. If that server that is looking it up is slow, you're going to get a slow response. You use something like he said, Cloudflare. I always use Google because it's easy to remember, and you can pretty much trust that Google is going to be there doing the right thing and doing it fast. So Google is easy to remember, 8.8.8.8, and you always have two, one in case the first one don't work. Second is 8.8.4.4.
Hmm.
This is true on your phone and your computer and your iPad and everywhere.
So
sometimes you'll actually, if you're having a problem and things are slow, you go and check there, and if it's not Google or something else, put them in there and see if it fixes it. It usually does.
Is that over and above the 5G?
Have nothing to do with your cellular service. It has to do with your internet service.
So I have Xfinity, and lately I've noticed it's been kind of slow.
Yeah, go and check your DNS.
I'm using Xfinity right now, and I think they put the default in as 75.75.75.75.
That's how you can tell. Yeah, they pull it off the.
And then the other one is .76 at the end.
Yeah, what? They pull up. They autofill that.
Right. And
every router has to have a DNS.
I've made that change, and then they change it back.
Well, you can do this on the router, which applies to everything in your house that's connected, or you can do it per machine. It's easier just to do it on your router.
Yeah, but I think they control my router.
Then change it on your machine. If you think, change it both places.
Right.
You have Xfinity, huh? Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
I'll have to look at that video again. What was the name of the video?
Turn this on for faster internet and better calls on iPhone. Trevor Nace, N-A-C-E. But you can use the link that you'll find on the BBS or in the chat. That's the easiest way to see it.
I can show you what this looks like, or we want to move on with the video.
Yeah, let's go ahead to the next video.
Yeah, we'll show it when we get to Q&A if somebody wants to see how you set the DNS.
Okay, Gary's going to tell us about using Spotlight to access the menu bar.
Hi, this is Gary with MacMost.com. Let's take a look at accessing the menu bar using Spotlight. macOS Tahoe brought us a whole new Spotlight, or as it's sometimes called, the Spotlight menu. This is what you get when you use Command Space, and it brings up the Spotlight field right in the middle of your screen. You could search for files, you can launch apps, and with macOS Tahoe, you can now look at your clipboard history, you can run shortcuts, and do a variety of other things. One of those things that you can do that hasn't gotten much attention is you can use menu bar commands through Spotlight. This gives you one way to access all of the commands of the menu bar, but by typing on your keyboard instead of using your pointing device to go up to the menu bar. So for example, here I am in the Finder, and I'm in List View here. Let's say I want to switch to Column View. I've got a button here to do it. I also can go to View and then switch to As Columns. Also, if I happen to know the keyboard shortcut, I can do that, and that's Command 3. But let's say I don't know the keyboard shortcut. I still want to use the keyboard to do this. So this command here is simply As Columns. I can actually type this menu bar command just using the keyboard thanks to Spotlight. So I'm going to use Command Space. Then I'm going to type As Column. And as I do, notice the results that are returned are from a variety of different things. I'll get files, web pages, all sorts of stuff. But this one hit right here shows a little menu bar icon, and it even shows the icon of the app. And I can see here As Columns in Finder View, which is up here. So by typing As Columns, I didn't even have to finish typing it. I just had to type it enough so it's the top one. I can now press Return, and you could see how the menu bar lit up for a second there with View. It had actually switched to Column View. It's the same thing as if I had selected View As Columns. So let's try As List and Return, and you can see how I was able to use the menu bar without knowing the keyboard shortcut and without going to my mouse or trackpad. If you find these videos valuable, consider joining the more than 2,000 others that support MacMost through Patreon. You get exclusive content, course discounts, and more. You can read about it at macmost.com/Patreon. Now, this is my favorite example that I use whenever I have to show how to find a menu item that's very hidden. Let's say I want what I just typed to be superscript. I'm going to use Shift and left arrow to select it. Now, if I go to Format, I could go to Font, then I can go to Baseline, and there is superscript. That's a lot I had to know. I had to know to start with the Format menu that it was font, not say text, that I had to select next, and that the superscript command is under Baseline. This is where to find it in Pages. I had to go a long way to do this, and there is a keyboard shortcut, but I didn't know that off the top of my head either. Now I could select this, and I get superscript for the characters that were selected. But I could do the same thing with Spotlight. I'll do Command Space, and I'll type superscript. I'll just start typing it, and as long as it's the top one, I can use it. If it's not the top one, even after finishing, I can still use the down arrow to go down to it and then return, and it will execute the menu bar command. Now, sometimes it gets a little confused when the menu bar item changes. So for instance, if I want to show preview, which is View, Show Preview, I can use Spotlight for that. So I'll do Preview, and there's Show Preview. It appeared there for a second. I could use the arrow keys to go down to find it, and then return, and it works. If I try it again, you can see it still says Show Preview, but there is no menu bar command now, Show Preview, because now we know it's Hide Preview. So if I were to select this, I get this weird error here. So it's not perfect, but eventually, if I delete what I was searching for and search again, notice how Hide Preview is now shown. So kind of the Spotlight menu doesn't update to show that the menu item has changed. You have to kind of clear it out. The escape key will work for that, and then find it again. And it doesn't seem to do a good job handling temporary menu bar items. For instance, in Safari under bookmarks, you've got a bunch of different bookmarks, and these are all menu bar commands, but they are kind of created by your bookmarks. They're dynamic. They're not really part of the app. So if I were to search for this, you can see I will find, because it's Safari, I will find it as a bookmark, but I'm not going to find it here as a menu bar item. And here's a tip to get it to work a little bit better. When you just hit Command Space, you're doing a general Spotlight search. So you search for something, and it may find the menu bar item if you're lucky, but it's going to find a bunch of other stuff. But a quick Command 3 will take you to Actions. And once you're in Actions, then there's a lot less for it to find. It can find lots of shortcuts and other special actions that the Spotlight menu can access. And it also will find menu bar commands. But that's it. So you're not going to get mixed in there bookmarks and mail messages and files and all sorts of other things. So probably it's a little bit quicker if you do Command Space and then still holding down the Command key 3. So Command Space and then 3. And then start typing the menu bar command that you're looking for. You even get this little button up here to indicate that you only want menu items. Now you can click that, of course, and now you'll just get menu items. The idea is not to use the mouse or trackpad. So the fastest way to do it, just using the keyboard, is hold the Command key down and do Space 3. Then start typing the menu item you're looking for. Looks like you need to type about 2 characters. Then a right arrow takes you to menu items, and a return selects the menu items. Now you're only looking at menu items, and you can keep typing. So now I can type like that, and it'll quickly get down to exactly what I want without anything else in the way. While that can be faster, probably most of us are just going to do Command Space and then type the menu bar command. And that will work in most cases. Now, there is another way to actually reach any menu bar command you want, and it doesn't involve Spotlight. It's been around for many years, and that's to use the Help menu. A lot of people think the Help menu is just for getting to documentation, but the search box up here actually will search for all of the menu items. So if I want to search for sort by date added. I can just type some of that there, and then I can arrow down to what I want and press return. The easy way to get to help is use Command with Shift and then the slash key, which is also the question mark key on US keyboards. So if you have a non-US keyboard, then it's probably Command and however else you would type question mark. That goes to the help menu directly, and the text cursor is blinking in search. So you can now just start typing and then use the down arrows here to find the menu bar command you want. I like this better still than Spotlight because it shows you where the menu item is. So maybe you can use this to learn for next time where it is, and you can also see the keyboard shortcuts when doing it this way. So maybe you can learn the keyboard shortcut as well. And if you want to know even more ways to access the menu bar with just the keyboard, you can go into System Settings and then go to Keyboard and then to Keyboard Shortcuts and then go to Keyboard on the left here. And then look for Move Focus to the menu bar. Make sure it's turned on and then check to see what it is and customize it if you like. I've got the default set as Control F2. So now Control F2 will highlight the Apple menu, and I could use the right arrow to move over, the down arrow to go down, and I could select a menu item. This also will work if you use Fn and then M for menu. That's kind of hard-coded in addition to whatever keyboard shortcut you've got set there in System Settings. Plus, if you use Command Shift and then slash to get to search, you can use the left arrow key and go through the menu items as well. So as you can see, there are lots of ways to access the menu bar using just the keyboard, and with macOS Tahoe and Spotlight, we have one more. Hope you found this useful. Thanks for watching.
Wow. Okay, we're going to have a three-part quiz on that now.
How to make simple things complicated.
Can I ask a question?
Hold on. Do we want to go ask a question, or do we want to continue?
Well, do you have a question about the video?
I do, and it's a dumb question, I realize, but it's my deficit. There's a column that has little grayed out icons of cloud, and looks like some are download and some are just cloud. Is that saying where that your document is either downloadable from the cloud or it's only in the cloud? Is that what that's saying?
Yes, the iCloud Drive status. Yeah, it'll have a download arrow, means it's actually not on your computer. It's only in the cloud. You click it and it will download it.
Well, do most people have things that are only in the cloud? Or, oh, this was on an on the computer, I would think you'd have everything on the computer.
Only reason that you want to have it only in the cloud is if you don't have the space on your computer. That's what it was designed for. You can't fit it on your computer. If you can fit it on your computer, you should have it on your computer, because if you don't, it won't be in your time machine either, and you're relying on the cloud for your only single version of it.
Right.
Which is not a good idea.
Right, I agree. Oh, thank you.
Okay. Most of the pundits that we see in these videos are middle-aged or better, and I found a video.
Or better, I like that.
I found a video from a young fellow named Sam in which he talks about 11 amazing Mac apps. So these are what he considers amazing. He goes through them very quickly, but you might see some things you wouldn't normally be aware of, applications. And if you see something that strikes your interest, might be useful, you can go back to it and take some time. So let's go ahead and have a look at what Sam has for us.
I absolutely love a MacBook refresh. In this video, I'm going to show you 11 MacBook apps that will enhance your productivity, creativity, and overall macOS experience. First up, we have Ice. If you're anything like me, you probably have a lot of apps in your menu bar. It can get so bad that it just looks cluttered and really distracting. And this app fixes that. All you have to do is click this little dot over here, and then it hides all of your items. It just makes your MacBook a little bit cleaner. Next up, we have Clean My Keyboard. If you have a MacBook, there's a pretty high chance that you take it to a coffee shop. And after eating a croissant, your keyboard will probably be a little bit greasy and crummy. So this app locks your keyboard so you can give it a quick wipe down without accidentally clicking on stuff. Next up, we have Hand Mirror. If that makes you think about an item you'd find in a purse, that's because it is the same concept. Before hopping into a meeting, you can give yourself a quick check to see if your hair looks okay or if your backdrop is okay. It's just such a useful app, and it hides up here in your menu bar. Next up, we have Affinity. If you use Photoshop or Illustrator, this app may be able to replace those apps. So Affinity was acquired by Canva a few months ago, and the best part is they made it completely free. You can work with vectors, you can work with photos or layouts, and it's absolutely crazy how much we're getting for a free app. The only thing you can pay for if you want is the Canva AI. That's a massive win for the creative industry. So exciting to see. Next, we have App Cleaner. You probably didn't know that moving an app to your trash can does not actually get rid of all the files. A lot of files often get left behind, sitting in your Mac forever. Over time, this accumulates a lot of bloatware. By using this app, you can make sure all the files go with the app. So all you have to do is click and drag an app in here, and it will completely delete every file that comes with the app. And there you go. If you're enjoying this video, then do yourself a favor and subscribe if you want to see more of these. Next, we have Portal. This app has a lot of 6K plus video wallpapers that act as normal wallpapers, and immersive audio that matches these environments. It uses Dolby Atmos or spatial audio, with head tracking if you have AirPods. Together, this creates a super immersive experience for deep work sessions. And this app kind of reminds me of environments from Vision Pro. If you've tried the Vision Pro before, you may remember that you can hear different sounds all around you. It really shifts you into a flow state like this, and all of a sudden your entire day just passes. You only get a few for free, and you have to unlock Portal Premium, which is a subscription, but overall it is a really good app. Next up, we have Flow. This is a Pomodoro timer. If you don't know what that means, it's basically a timer that times your work sessions with a few breaks in between. It ensures that you get your work done while also making sure you give your brain some time to rest. If you want, you can make it take up your entire screen when the timer's up. And if you're wondering where I got all these wallpapers from, it's from a wallpaper pack called Stroke of Luck. It matches the iPhone ones too. I left the link in the description if you want them. Next, we have Partial. If you get a lot of deliveries like I do, this app will help you track them all easily. It's so simple and easy to use, and I actually mainly use the mobile version of the app. Next, we have Clop. If you take a lot of screenshots or screen recordings or little files that just end up sitting there, you can use this app to downscale them to save a bit of storage. It may seem like a small task, but over time, you end up saving gigabytes of storage. Next, we have Latest. This app shows you apps that may need an update. Sometimes I do forget to update my app, so this is a must-have. Next, we have Clocks. This app has really nice screensavers with customizable clock faces. I just love the aesthetic of all of these. They look really, really good. You can also save them as actual screensavers on macOS. So when you leave your Mac on AFK, it will actually play a much better screensaver. And that's all for this video. It's great to be back on the long form side. It's been a while. My name is Sam, and I am a huge tech enthusiast. If you like videos like this, then do yourself a favor and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Something doubled up there. I don't know what that was.
Yeah, I don't know if that was coming from somebody watching the show or what, but anyway, yeah, the young fellow had quite a bit there in his 4 minutes. Any comments?
I was curious about the keyboard lock app. What was that called? Do you remember when he went through that? Where he locked the keyboard so he could clean it off and
Right. Yeah, that interesting. I don't recall the name, but
okay,
again,
well,
you
that's
click
fine.
on the link and get to it quickly. You could
Clean
also,
my
I guess,
keyboard.
turn off your computer, I suppose, and do the
Yeah,
same.
you can shut your computer off.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, you want to not have to bother with restarting there. Just, yeah, it would be useful.
Apple, it's on the back edge. Where am I? Over here. There. Back. There's a switch, top right.
Okay.
If you're using a desktop computer, you just unplug the keyboard so you don't have any electricity going in there. When you start cleaning it, if you clean it with something that's damp and it goes down inside it, you can short it out.
Yeah.
So unplug it.
Right.
Probably also a good idea on your laptop to shut it down before you do that.
After we leave this session today, how can I get back to all those videos? I want to go back and review them. Where would I find them?
They're on the BBS.
Under what?
Let's see.
After every meeting, slightly, it takes an hour or two. You go in the DVMUG folder and it will say DVMUG Zoom meeting 4/21/26 on YouTube. You click there and it will have this recording and the next recording for the Q&A, 2 different videos.
Right.
As I recall,
on the BBS, if you just go to the DVMUG folder, the main folder, for today, which is April 21st, there will be the list of news items and the list of videos with the links. And I think that
Actually, it's in the chat right now. There's only one post after. If you came in, it'll say video.
Yeah, but I'm assuming that when I go from this after this session is done, the chat goes away.
Yeah, we'll download it right now.
Right.
I got it from the BBS around noon today.
Yeah, it's in the meeting right now. It's on the BBS, and Peter posted it, or it'll be after the meeting. It'll be there.
Okay.
Or every
John,
Sunday.
when somebody logs in afterwards, they don't get it.
Yeah,
I don't have it.
I came in 2 minutes late. I don't have it.
Okay.
But I did get it earlier from the BBS.
John, didn't you tell me last time that on Sunday, when you send out the thing, there's a little link in the email?
At the top of every Sunday email, it says previous Zoom meetings. You click on that, and it'll have
wait till Sunday, Dick. It's right in there in the email.
It's there every Sunday and every Sunday.
All right. Good,
Or
thanks.
just go to YouTube and put dvmug.org or what?
Go to YouTube, type in DVMUG, hit return, and you will see the first video, this one. You will not see the next one for Q&A. That you have to get off the BBS. That's not public.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Right.
Okay.
I'd like to also add, Sharon, you try to clean your keyboard. There is on the market right now, there is a real tiny fan sells for like $30. It's a aimed kind of a device. You hold it in your hand and you press a button, and it spits out a whirlwind of wind that's coming out. And it'll blow everything off of your keyboard.
Oh, I just got
The
a
other
new
option-
Magic keyboard, and it tells me not to use any aerosol sprays.
Well, it's not
Don't
aerosol.
use- it says don't use any aerosol sprays like cleaners with liquid in them.
Yeah, no, I have a
Canned
brand new
air-
keyboard. Thanks. Anyway,
Canned air is fine. It doesn't have any liquid in it.
no, I was just saying how to turn off the keyboard.
Unplug it.
Well,
if you have a wireless
There's
keyboard,
a switch. I never knew there was a switch also.
a wireless keyboard, and then you don't have. There's no wire to unplug.
Yeah.
No.
There's an off and on switch though.
Yes.
But I found using compressed air on keyboards can be problematic
How's
in that
that?
it can drive the dust further under the keys. I've seen some people turn the keyboard upside down before they
Yes.
use compressed air on it.
Yes.
Yep.
That's also a good idea if you're going to clean. You're going to use like a Clorox wipe, disinfectant wipe. Turn the keyboard upside down when you wipe it, because if you have it right side up, you're going to squeeze the liquid out of the cloth, and it can run down inside.
Yeah.
But it's alcohol based. If you take it and put it in the sun, it'll dry right out.
I just put in the chat the link Clean My Keyboard App Store, Apple.
Okay.
That's the thing he was talking about.
Okay.
Your keyboard can get
Lean one.
very nasty from your hands. You can
Yeah,
see if you
Pat.
have a white keyboard how filthy it can get. So you're not going to blow that off. You're going to have to clean it with some kind of, Clorox wipe type of thing. That works very well. I'll cut that to get that disinfected and get that stuff off of there.
I use that clear screen cleaner, lens cleaner, and that seems to work pretty good.
That's okay, but that's not a disinfectant. When you're on your keyboard and it's all grubby, that's from your hands. You need to disinfect that puppy.
No, my hands, as long as nobody else uses it, there's no change in germs there.
I'm just saying, clear screen has no disinfectant in it.
Okay.
It's great for cleaning your computer screen. Do not use a Clorox disinfectant wipe on your computer screen because you will ruin it.
Yeah.
I had somebody who had one that was, you can see it start peeling. You every once in a while you see the ones that the coating starts peeling off. And so I went and hooked isopropyl alcohol and a paper towel, and I just scrubbed on it a little bit, and it all came off. So it was clear. There was no reflective coating. It was usable, but it just peels that stuff off of there.
Well, there is one more video. It's a short one.
Yeah, go on, move on.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do it. So if there is any questions, there'll be some time for them. Here we go. Okay. Finally, some female advice. This is the Techie Tutor. Oh, and the name of this is Your Apple Notes Can Look Like This.
Are your notes boring? In this quick tip video for Apple Notes, I'll be showing you how you can make your notes stand out. So let's get started. We're going to start by opening up Notes and open up a brand new note by pressing the icon in the bottom right corner to start a new note. I've just saved some information to use for my note for this example. In order to format this, I want to put the cursor where I want the first formatting option. In this case, I want it right before the word first. I'll press the formatting menu, which is right above the keyboard with the two A's listed. Press that. And then in the middle set of tools on the far right, you'll see a 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to press that. So now I have that first. Okay. Let's see. Change your home's air filter. I want that to be the heading. So I'm going to go ahead and press the formatting icon again. And I'm going to go scrolling to title. Actually, title is better than heading. And here is also where I'd like to have a highlight color. So you'll see a colored blue circle. If you press that, you're going to have a choice of different colors. I'm going to keep it blue. And now I'm going to look for the next step. I have one step right now. Find the next step and press return. And now I have 2 steps. So same thing. I'm going to press return on the 3rd step, the 4th step, and the 5th step. So now I have a note with 5 directions, a title, and it's formatted and highlighted. So it's a lot easier to read. Now I could continue formatting, or I could just leave it like this. When I'm all done, I can see my note in the menu of notes for this particular topic. I hope you found this video helpful on how to add some formatting to the notes you use on Apple Notes. Go ahead and click the like button below. Subscribe to my channel so you'll always know when new videos come out. Or join my channel, which you can find out about in the description, and that way you'll have early access to all the videos I produce. See you next time.
Okay. Any questions or comments? Right. I'm going to stop the share and let people ask questions and answer questions.
Yeah. Mike.
Yeah, something I saw in the news on the internet today that the EU is going to make it all cellular phones be able to have replaceable batteries by 2027. So
yeah, never gonna fly. Never gonna fly.
Well, they're passing it. I'm just passing it on. It's not up for a vote. The EU's doing whatever they do. And usually whatever happens in the EU follows over to here because Apple wants
Oh,
to keep everything consistent.
Yeah,
right.
that's why we got USB-C.
Exactly. And I'm just putting it out there, letting you know there was an article I read that it's going to be able, in 2027, you'll be able to replace your own battery in your phone. You want it to take it anywhere, you can do it yourself.
Yeah, I think the specific wording was that no phone can be sold in the European Union after that date unless it has a consumer replaceable battery. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Won't that make it a little bigger and heavier to have the door and all that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's going to be a D-size battery, Jan.
Yeah, yeah, I'm afraid so. Yeah.
Are we not able to do that right now?
No,
You can.
no iPhone has ever had a user replaceable battery.
No.
You might be able to, Bruce, but I sure as hell can't.
Yeah, they're always upgrading or the system.
No,
So,
no. I'm sorry. Even when I had iPhone 6, believe it or not, it was replaced. I mean, not by me.
Well, that's what they're saying, Bruce.
Yeah, Apple can
It
replace it,
was
but not you.
Apple replacing the battery.
Well, that's what they're saying, Bruce. In 2027, the phones that are going to be sold are going to be user replaceable. You'll be able to replace the battery in your own phone. You want to take it in.
Like my Palm Pilot that
Well,
use double A's.
Yeah, they're going to put double A's in the iPhone.
Yeah, you guys are not funny.
That's going to work
No.
really good.
Palm Pilot. I'll take old devices for 25, Alex. My God.
Even a triple A is thicker than an iPhone.
Yeah.
I'm going to start docking
I
up on 20.
don't think it's going to be an impossible thing to do as long as they can keep the battery compartment separate.
Exactly.
And keep the phone itself secure from intrusive fluids or anything. The battery compartment, we just have two metallic contacts.
Yeah.
So I think it's doable, but
it would make it thicker and heavier.
yeah, it'll probably be a little heavier and maybe thicker. I don't because that means that the battery has to have a case as opposed to being just in its own envelope. So
why would it?
And rather you don't solder it in like they do. So
right,
yeah.
gotta have to have connectors.
Do you know what it looks like now? Anybody? Like a
Yeah.
little chip, right? I don't know how big is it.
It's a little envelope kind of. Sometimes they're rolled. And they have the lithium substance in there, sometimes lithium iron, sometimes lithium other substances.
That's a safety hazard then. That's like a health hazard.
Doesn't everybody remember having a flip phone? Most flip phones had a removable battery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You pop them out, you can take them and swap them and recharge them.
We can. I forgot about
Like that. You remember how thick a flip phone used to be?
I'm just going to start collecting 20.
Maybe they're going to put it in conjunction with the foldable phone, so you won't really notice it.
Possibly.
I can't speak for the rest of you, but I use my phone and charge it every night, and it keeps holding the charge.
Yeah.
How many years do you get out of your phones?
Probably more than you keep the phone.
Yeah, I
Yes.
think for me
That's
that's
definitely.
my contention. Yeah.
Yeah, which is pretty remarkable.
It's an aside, I have a friend that I know who has a Tesla. It's 7.5 years old, and he still has full battery. The battery is wearing out in 6 months, he said, or the warranty is running out on the battery in 6 months. But he says it still takes a full charge.
I have the
although
same
he never has
situation.
charged it over 80%.
My Tesla has got I've had it for six years, and it's full battery all the time. It doesn't the battery quality is rated high still. There's no issues around it. So Yeah, I had replaced the 12-volt battery, like all 12-volt batteries, in
Yeah.
cars, they go out, but I did replace that after 4 years, 5 years, I think it was.
How high do you charge your battery, Dick?
I beg your pardon?
What percentage do you charge your battery?
80%.
80. Okay.
Yeah. That's what this guy does too, 80%.
That's
You
Apple
know, I have
recommends that.
a
They say if you
John,
want to go to
shouldn't we
90
be
or
switching?
95%, do so, but make sure you get in the
Okay,
car
hold on.
immediately after it's charged and drive
Shouldn't
it
we be
a long
switching
distance.
recordings?
Yes, we should. Okay, we're gonna go to a general Q&A here. Okay, DVMUG members can find the next Q&A recording on the BBS, and we'll start a new one now.